Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Rulebook. I'm your host, Alex Palmer, and this is episode number 42. It's Thanksgiving week, so that's applause. If you're watching this, it's already Tuesday, so one more day until freedom. Well, I don't know if it's freedom for everybody because, girl, you already know there's so many toxic family dynamics and dysfunctional families out there that sometimes Thanksgiving doesn't really feel like it's chalked up to be all that it's chalked up to be. You know what I mean? I personally have never liked Thanksgiving. I grew up with a very small family. It was just me, my mom, and my sister. So Thanksgiving is usually like a time to gather, and we didn't often get that opportunity to gather. So I don't have the best memories of it. I'm more of a Christmas gal myself because that's when we would actually leave Manhattan and go to Rochester, New York to go see my mom's sisters and family and my cousin, etc. But Thanksgiving, we were always kind of like on our own. Also, like growing up too, like when I was old enough, my sister and I would just go to boyfriends' houses or friends' houses because that's what you do, right? So while we're both single, not married, no kids, we'll continue to spend this time with our mom while we still can. So that's what I'll be doing. But just know if Thanksgiving is also not your favorite holiday, and it will never be my favorite holiday, just know you're not alone. I'll be thinking of you. And nothing is permanent. Just remember that. I did Thanksgiving here last year in my studio apartment, and it was like a 60-degree day, which is, it sounds cold, but it's not cold. It's like, it's sweater weather, but that's about it. And the heat was blasting. I had the oven going. I had to put on the freaking air conditioner because it was so hot in here. I was like, okay, everything is on. This place is going to go. Luckily, we survived Thanksgiving at my house, but I've learned my lesson and I will never do that again. So this year we're going to be doing it at my mom's, and me and my sister are going to be like heating everything up in her apartment, which is bigger than this apartment. So hopefully, fingers crossed that goes smoothly, but you never know. Holidays very rarely go smoothly. But yeah, happy Thanksgiving from me to you in advance, okay? So we have a lot of things to get into this episode. So many things have gone down since last week. Cassie dropped a bombshell lawsuit on P Diddy, aka Sean Combs, and she's Cassandra Ventura. They dated for about 10 years. I guess he sort of discovered her as a musical artist, and her career never really went anywhere after like her two singles. Was it one single or I don't know. But she kind of fell off, and she ended up marrying their fitness trainer. I guess his name is Alex Fine, and they have 2 kids together. And she talked about the domestic violence that she experienced at his hands. Not only that, but she accused him of rape and SA and countless other things, which are just horrible. And I'm sure you've already read about them in the news, but really disgusting. And other people have been hinting about Diddy for quite some time now. Last year, Aubrey O'Day from Danity Kane, she came out and said, you know, she was expected to do things that some of her other bandmates were not expected to do, basically alluding to the fact that, you know, he clearly put her in compromising positions or was trying to take advantage of his role as an authority figure, of his role as like their boss. 2023 has been the year of like the reckoning, right? All these celebrities have been being taken down. Danny Masterson, Russell Brand. Oh, now I'm blanking, but left and right, people are being accused, and more women are speaking up. So I'm really happy to see it. It's sad to hear about the experience that so many people have had to endure and the trauma and the pain. So justice for Cassie. She ended up settling out of court a day later with him, which was also just shocking. But I guess it really does go to show that everything that she was alleging in the lawsuit, it was probably that and more. Because why would he settle so quickly to make this go away? And I believe he released a statement saying, like, I wish the best for Cassie and her family. Like, just weird. Again, it's giving controlling. It's giving, like, manipulation. It's giving shut up, which I don't love for her. I do love that whatever she settled for, she did it quickly, smoothly. I mean, it takes a lot of courage to come forward, especially against someone like him, who's so high up in the music industry and has a reputation for violence. And I don't know, there's like all these theories about Diddy, right? Like accusing him of playing some sort of role in Tupac's death. And anyway, let me not say more because, girl, I'm not trying to get a cease and desist over here. But you know what I mean. So there's a lot of things on the internet. You can just Google it, okay? If you want to know more. That's my tip to you. But yeah, he also, the day before that they had settled, he came out and like vehemently denied the accusations, of course, and was like, actually, she had reached out to my team 6 months ago to ask me for $30 million or she was going to write a tell-all book. I went on TikTok and I was like, Cassie, release the book. Like, we'll give you 30 million. You don't even have to go to him. We'll give you that and more. And then that got me thinking, like, how much do celebrities make for like their memoirs and their book deals? Prince Harry apparently made $25 million to release his memoir, and that's pretty top tier. It's usually along the lines of like 5 million and up, but 25 million, 30 million, that is freaking up there. I believe Oprah made around that. Does Oprah have a memoir? I don't know. I'm pretty sure she does. I feel like I saw that. But yeah, I know Prince Harry made like 25 million for his book deal. So this explosive stuff about Diddy, she probably could have did it. Honestly, she probably could have did it. I don't know what she got. I'm sure it doesn't take away anything that he did. I'm sure he'll have more people come forward, especially after this one. You know, where there's smoke, there's fire. So we'll see what happens with that. But I'm glad that Cassie got justice. It's so hard to come forward. So I'm glad that more and more people are, and it's really losing its stigma, because even the things that she accused him of, it was like pretty shocking that she said it. And she did. People will always talk. People will always have an opinion. People will always judge us. But the truth is the truth. And facts are facts. Nothing you can do about that. So let's move on. Matt Rife, his comedy special came out on Netflix. Okay, so you might know him as like the pretty boy comedian on TikTok. He actually started out on Wild 'N Out, and he was not as attractive or charming as he now is on TikTok. I believe he was like pretty pimply back then. And as someone who was very pimply themselves, like I can say that. So he had his glow up, right? And he went to TikTok, and he amassed a very large female following because people were like, oh, who is this cutie patootie spitting these jokes? And honestly, I haven't watched a lot of his videos, but the videos that I have seen, like, it's a lot of crowd work. So I'm like, okay, you're just, making fun of people in the crowd or using their stories and then having like a quick retort back. It's like, okay, you're quick. I don't know if you're a comedian. Who am I? I don't know if you're like that funny. I mean, you're very nice looking. You're on stage. You have presence. You have a nice voice. And you're doing crowd work and you're like good with the audience. Okay. So I haven't actually watched the special. I need to watch it. I just haven't had any freaking time. Dude, the holidays, like what? So many things are happening. But anyway, I haven't had enough time to actually watch the special. But I did know that he started it off 3 minutes in, apparently. Look at me. Details. With a domestic violence joke. Also, with the Cassie stuff just coming out, like, horrible timing. I actually don't know when the Netflix special was released. Was it this? Because that's just really bad timing. His Netflix special was also called Natural Selection. Like, what? Here's something. He said, I blew up on TikTok, which is very female dominant. Guys, do you think TikTok is very female dominant? Because I'd have to disagree with that statement. And he maintained that his live shows were split equally. It's lots of couples, it's groups of dudes, and that's one thing I wanted to tackle in this special, was showing people that despite what you think about me online, I don't pander my career to women. I would argue this special is way more for guys. Like, what? Okay, so he really put his foot in his mouth there, and I believe he went on a podcast and said like something even worse, like same effect, like same shit. But you're making misogynistic jokes to alienate or frustrate, humiliate your female fans. WTF? I posted a video about this on TikTok as well, and some girl was like, it's giving pick me. And I was like, it really is. Like, he's being a pick me for the boys. Like, he's really like, I'm just like you. Let me make a whole Netflix comedy special about locker room talk. What, Matt? No, you know how hard it is to get a Netflix comedy special? Please don't fumble the bag. I don't like to see anyone fumble the bag. I don't like to see people get canceled, despite what you may think, but I really don't like to see it. So it's really too bad that this is how it's starting for him. I mean, so as I was saying, he's been in trouble in the past for mocking women for having large genitalia, saying that it's like God has tagged them. He's also made other misogynistic comments like he only likes giant fake boobs. Like, he's just kind of ill. If that didn't give us the ick last year, then this really like put the nail in his coffin for the rest of us. But as I said, I'm not really a fan. So yeah, and then this whole trope about like I refuse to pander to my female audience. It's like, oh, you don't know how lucky you are to have a female audience, because as we saw this summer, the female audience is valuable. So for him to come out and like really underestimate and really devalue the girls pisses me off to no end, because it's like, look at Taylor Swift, look at Beyonce, two artists who, I'm sorry, you are not in the same category, and like you're being mentioned in this sentence, but not because you're anywhere near like their level. How dare you come out against your female audience and say you want a more male audience? Like, you don't know what you're doing, Matt. You don't know what you're saying. Take it back. And I was saying on TikTok, like, how funny this is, because it's so fucking girl coded. Like, for him to come out and say that, oh, he wishes he had a more male audience, because that's all I hear female content creators saying. I wish I had a more female following, because I'm making like OOTD videos, outfit of the day videos, or doing a get ready with me. I'm doing my makeup. I'm like pushing these clothes for women, and all I have is like male creeps following me. So I'm not able to speak to the audience that I want to speak to. Or perhaps you want to make content that is like feminist, but your content is being pushed to all the anti-feminists, all the misogynists, and then they're reacting to your content in negative ways. They're trolling you. They're sending you hateful comments. It makes the platform no fun. And that's not what his female fans are doing to him. They're supporting him. They're showing up. They're even bringing their boyfriends along, according to him. So really, Matt, you're going to bite the hand that feeds you? Really? And it was funny because it made me think about Smith Jerrod and Samantha Jones in Sex and the City in the original series. When Smith Jerrod did like a vodka ad, and it was on like a billboard in Times Square, and they go to like see it and like cheers each other because it was like his first big industry job. And he's all upset because someone had written like absolute joke or something, because he was the absolute hunk. He was like absolute joke. And or some guy told him that. I can't remember the episode, but he was getting some hate. And she goes, "Don't worry." That was pretty good. "Don't worry. First it's the gays, then it's the girls, then it's the industry." And you see like gay men being like, "I want to order an absolute hunk," because it's a drink, because he's for the absolute vodka. And then he gets chased down the street by a bunch of schoolgirls. And then he does end up landing a big role in a big film. And he becomes a star in the series. So Samantha was right. So, and I said in the TikTok video, like, not once did she say straight men. Okay? Because I don't know, but I don't really think like straight men are out here. Maybe they're not consuming as much content as women, and maybe they wouldn't be consuming him really because he's such a pretty boy. I mean, I'm sure he would probably have some jealousy or hateration or whatever. I don't know. But what are the girls really doing to you, Matt, that's really pissing you off? The true test of someone who is funny is like, you can punch up and you can punch across. You can't punch down. Punching down is not funny. And I'm not saying, oh, women are beneath men with this comment. I'm just saying, like, we are historically and systemically a disenfranchised group compared to him, a straight white male. Okay? So you want to talk about domestic violence survivors? You're punching down. You're punching into the ground. You're kicking those who are down. I hate that. Even growing up, I always hated anyone who made jokes about rape. I always hated jokes about anyone who made jokes about sexual assault. Like, those things just always is like, this just seems so unnecessary. So, and the fucking joke was not funny. It was something to the effect of like, he saw a hostess in Minnesota or wherever the hell he was, and she had a black eye, and he said to his friend, "Oh, I can tell that black eye is like a DV situation. And the friend goes, well, why don't they put her in the kitchen, to hide her? And Matt said, well, that's probably how she got it, because she's no good in the kitchen. Ugh, really? And so I was watching social media, and someone was like, are you an 85-year-old grandpa, like, making this stupid-ass joke? That's not funny. It's lame. It's cliche. It's so misogynistic. I saw another girl come out and be like, well, I don't hold him to a higher standard. He's just a comedian. But it's like, that's the fucking problem. That is a problem. That's why this will continue to fester, and this will continue to, like, shit will continue to stay the way it is, because you don't care if your friend, brother, whoever, and she's like, I don't care if my plumber's misogynistic, but, like, maybe you should. Maybe you shouldn't hire that plumber again, like, if you can help it. I mean, I know circumstances are different for everyone, but shit. I don't want to support someone who hates women as a woman. No thanks. If you are an adult, you should be held accountable. What the fuck? What the fuck? Anyway. What else? So that's what happened with Matt Rife. We will see how this plays out. Will he lose a big chunk of his fan base? Who knows? I was never a fan, and I think a lot of the people who were, like, up in arms about this were never really his fans anyway. So I don't know. My hope for him is that he starts to change up his routine and see how that works out for him, because I bet he could be super successful if he played to his target audience. So we'll see what he does with that. Taylor Swift was in Brazil over the weekend. Another tragic story, actually. A fan died before her concert due to, I'm not sure if it was cardiac arrest or it was like heat stroke, because there was a heat wave in Brazil, and it was in a stadium, and there was no water bottles allowed inside the venue. Like, what? I found that so weird and strange. And then they even shared a video of, like, Taylor tossing water bottles to the audience. I think it was just one water bottle. It was like, you're going to toss one water bottle? You're going to have to hand out water bottles. Here, let's see what it says. Let's see. A fan died in the sweltering heat Friday night show in Rio de Janeiro. At the 11th hour, Swift postponed her Saturday show until Monday, to the dismay of thousands of fans who already started filling the stadium. Oh yeah, I think I saw that people were literally lined up days in advance to actually be on the floor. So that's crazy. Julia Alvarenga, social media influencer, was in the stadium when this concert was postponed and said in a video that she arrived for the show at 11 a.m. Taylor Swift, I'm wearing a geriatric diaper that doesn't even close on me. I bought water. I bought a fan. Everyone is crying, screaming, so you show up on stage. Ooh, the diaper. I feel like I saw something about that this summer, that literally fans were wearing diapers to the shows so that they wouldn't miss a song. Ugh. Kind of makes you not want to go on the Eras tour, yeah? Like, if you're standing next to someone who's in a diaper. So not into it. And I don't mean to judge, but, like, if you're wearing an adult diaper and you don't need to be, you should really reevaluate your priorities. I'm just fucking saying. Oh, the girl was 23 years old and she lost consciousness and then died. She did die of cardiac arrest after being taken to the hospital. So, fuck. I can only imagine what Taylor Swift is feeling. I can only imagine what this poor woman's family is feeling. And it's very devastating because I'm sure it seems like all of her Swifties are quite dedicated. And I'm sure that what was supposed to be a magical night and a huge treat ended up being a catastrophe. So that's really sad. I think she's still in Brazil right now. I don't know where she's going next. But that's shitty and horrible. In other news, oh God, this one I heard today. Kim Kardashian is going to be producing and starring in another film upon her, successful debut, even though she's acted before, but debut acting in American Horror Story opposite Emma Roberts, who people do tell me that I look like. One time I was at a Broadway show and a girl followed me to the bathroom because she thought that I was Emma Roberts. And I was like, I promise you I'm not. And then she followed me back to my seat and was like, no, but you are. I was like, no, I'm really not. I'm not. I'm just a regular degular seeing the show like you. But I think it was funny that she really did not believe me. She thought that I was capping. Nope. I'm just me. So anyway, I heard she's actually a horrible person, but I don't know. Again, I don't want to get a cease and desist. So yeah, after the success of that, and I guess a lot of people probably tuned in specifically to see Kim act, either because they wanted to see her succeed or they wanted to see her fall on her face. I'm sure equally. I'm sure she had both parties attending that. She's going to be producing some sort of all-female comedy movie. I don't know. And she's going to be starring in it. Okay. As an actress, I obviously feel some type of way. It sucks to hear that Kim Kardashian is getting into the industry, into the business. Because there's people, I'm not even talking about myself anymore, but there's actors and actresses who've worked their asses off to be good at the craft, and they'll never get these opportunities that she's being handed because of her connections, because of who she is, because of her name, because of her money. It's so freaking sad. And like along the same vein, actually, I was reading in People magazine today something about Travis Kelce, and he was talking about how he'd really love to retire from football someday soon. And when asked like what would he do after retiring from the game, since he's only 34 years old now, he was like, well, I'd probably become a sports journalist or an actor. I'm like, oh, but he acknowledged like I'd probably have to like learn more about it before I really get into it. And it's just like, oh my God, how much privilege you can have to actually say that and know that you probably will get to do that. And I'm not like trying to be a hater, but I'm kind of a hater. I'm not trying to be a hater, but I'm a hater. But the industry's kind of a joke when that's what it comes down to, right? Like, I don't think Travis Kelce probably has like an innate acting ability. I don't think Kim Kardashian does. I haven't tuned in to American Horror Story, but I think I've seen all I needed to see, you know? I've heard her speak. Like, I'm good. And I'm not even a Kim Kardashian hater. I kind of like Kim. She's a fellow Libra, so what's not to like? But when these kinds of stories come out, it just like burns my biscuit. Ugh. Okay, let me just make a comparison, okay? Let's say you're a doctor and you know that even though you went to med school, there's no guarantee you're going to get to be a practicing doctor because that's how competitive being a doctor is, right? And then you hear about someone who never went to med school, who didn't put in the work, but they're able to get a job as a doctor without ever studying as a doctor just because of what their name is or because they're famous in another industry. That would really tick you off, wouldn't it? And you'd think, hey, why wouldn't you want more doctors who know what the fuck they're doing? No, you just want a doctor who has a name. So it's giving that. Maybe you're saying like that was a hyperbolic comparison, but is it? Is it? Because I know actors who have studied for 10 years plus and they don't have the resumes you think that they should have. And it's not because they don't deserve it. It's not because they wouldn't be brilliant in this role and that role. It's just because that's how the industry works. The industry is unfair and the industry gives away opportunities that should be going to the people who worked hardest, but they go to the people who are the more famous. Ugh. So there's that. So we'll see what Kim comes out with. And I think people are more likely to put her in in their projects simply for the fact that, yeah, she's generating a crowd, right? Like her fans are following her to her show, her project. So fans of Kim will probably watch American Horror Story. Fans of Kim will probably watch the movie she produces simply because they're just fans of her for who she is, not because she's a great actress. And that's unfortunate that that's how things have to work. But what can you do? In other news, Joe Biden turned 81 years old today. Today's Monday, but you'll be seeing this on Tuesday. So he's 81. He's the oldest president officially. We've never had a president be 81 in the White House, so congratulations, Joe. You did it. You're in the terrible 80s, darling. And then they also released a poll saying like he's at an all-time low for approval rating. So happy birthday. Happy birthday, Joe. And he was pardoning 2 turkeys. And then someone also said he mixed up Taylor Swift and Britney Spears. Now, okay, when I read about this story, I was confused if they were saying the artist he mixed up or he mixed up the 2 turkeys who were named Taylor Swift and Britney Spears. So I don't know. Do with that what you will. But Joe messed up. And they were like, this is why Gen Z doesn't like him, because they find him to be like old and out of touch. Okay, but like Trump is like what, 2 years younger? He's old too. He's just fake and baking it. And he has like weird hair. That doesn't mean he's doing any better than Joe. But in other news, in international news, Argentina elected a new president, Javier Milei. I might be saying that wrong. And apparently he was like a talking head. He got famous from TV, like someone else, And he would bring a chainsaw on the streets, like that's his symbol, to show how he's going to carve up the government. Now, if that's not a red flag, honey, I don't know what is, but your president with a chainsaw, it's giving horror movie. It's giving we made a mistake. I don't know. I really don't know about Argentinian politics. I know what people have said on the news, which is the fact that he's a controversial figure, and that he is very much like our former president, Donald Trump. So already, that should concern you. I'm not really sure what his politics are. I mean, let's check it out. I guess he's a libertarian, but like, honey, what does that really mean? I think he wants to be like laissez-faire. Because in school, they didn't teach us they didn't teach us this. They taught us like laissez-faire, the French Revolution. That's all I remember. Hold on. So libertarian. Let's get into it. An advocate or supporter of a political philosophy that advocates only minimal state intervention. Okay, so laissez-faire. So I was right, honey. Okay. Yeah, he was like crossing. He was like the images that they were showing of him and like the clips and the footage. Him crossing out like government institutions. Cross out. Who's crossing out the ministry? I was like, what is this? The ministry of magic? Harry Potter? I don't know. What do libertarians believe? Maximize autonomy and political freedom. Okay, this is embarrassing. I shouldn't even be like letting anybody on my podcast know that I like had to Google that, but I think I had a good grasp with the laissez-faire thing. Okay. So yeah, he's a libertarian, so I don't know if that's good or bad for Argentina. I'm assuming it's gonna be bad. You can tell by his hair. I feel like you can tell by politicians' hair how much damage they're about to do, because look how damaged their fucking hair is. His hair is crazy. It's gone with the wind, not fabulous, as what Kenya Moore would say from Real Housewives of Atlanta. So, yeah, I don't know. Pray for Argentina. Also, as I said, I don't know shit balls about Argentina's politics, so ignore me if I'm wrong. Though I don't know. Usually when you're the crowd fave and you're holding a chainsaw, it doesn't look good. It really doesn't look good. The optics, like I said, not good. So those were like the top things that I wanted to bring to your attention this episode. What's my rule? Oh dear, I don't think I have a rule. I guess my rule would be for Matt Rife. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. And if you're not hungry, just nudge the food around with your nose a little bit to make it look like you ate. Because it's not like he can't trick us into thinking, oh, he loves his female audience, or he at least appreciates us in some way. Perhaps we're not his first choice, but honey, we're the only choice you got. So start being grateful. Start making a joke about something we would find funny. You better start putting some Taylor Swift content in your next comedy special just for us, if you ever hope to gain us back, gain our loyalty and trust back. So that's for Matt. But you know what? That's for everyone who undervalues the importance of a female audience. Because the girls got spending power, honey. You saw that this summer with Barbie. You saw that this summer with Taylor. You saw that this summer with Beyonce. Okay? So, I mean, we even saw it in the primaries of people came out to vote specifically because they want abortion rights back. Okay? So the girls are here. We're here. We're listening. We're watching. We're learning. And we are taking action. And we are voting and spending accordingly. Okay? And our money is green too, Matt. So figure that out. Yeah. I hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope that, your family time is fun and not super dysfunctional or toxic. But if it is, I hope that you can leave early. And I hope that your turkey is never dry and that the stuffing is delicious. Okay. Come back next week for another episode of the Rulebook. Subscribe to this podcast if you haven't already. And baby, I will see you when I see you. Bye.